बहाल से जातन गही जिहवा एक बार न लही शेष रसन सरद से बुद्ध रतपन उपमा वर्णत सुध या मैं रज न मिथ्या बाकी पार ब्रह्म गुरु नानक साखी रोम रोम जय रसना पानो सब तेरा सब तेरा.
Punjabis today are continuing civilization of Asia, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Other early civilizations like Egypt and Mesopotamia, modern civilizations came. Punjab, the Indus Valley, continue till today.
In Malaysia especially, when the Sikhs came over 150 years ago, they came here with the clothes on their back. But more than all, above them they carried the complete Sampuran Pothi, the complete volume of the Shabad Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And this is so important because every strength that we've got and we get is from the Guru. And everywhere a Sikh went, first he did was, before he made a roof for himself, he made a roof for the Guru. The Swaroop of the Guru. The building is called a Gurdwara.
The group that came in 1874, brought by Captain Speedy, commonly said 110 people. They said these people were brought in to control the gang fights, Gihin, Haisan in Taiping, Larut. And this force expanded. In time to come, it became the Perak Sikhs, paramilitary force. They were also employed as bodyguards of His Royal Highness, the Sultan of Perak.
However, as they came and they went into service, they did what they did. They planted the seeds, like Guruji says in Bani, Hun batte har naam na bijiyo, agge bhukha kya khaye. We must remember our forefathers. They lived honestly. Kirt karni, naam japna, van shakna. Live honestly, pray in gratitude and share. There are cases of people who share 90% of their earnings. Because they don't need all that, they share. And that is Sikhi 101. You can share knowledge, you can share time, you can share so many things besides just sharing your money.
So from the beginning, this force was trusted up to royal family and they gained acceptance. In time to come, this very force became the military force because Federation of Malaya was made in 1896. So the Federation needed a military force and these guides, they call them, Sikh guides. So this force expanded into up to 900 people and more. Dasta, one contingent kept at Penang. They had their Fort Cornwallis, Gurdwara, wherever they went, typing of Gurdwara built by the guide, so on. 36 who settled here.
And all this goes back to what Guru Nanak Dev Ji did in his 4 travels all over the known world of his time. My dear friends, we are what we are today because of Guru Nanak's incredibly far-sighted vision.
We commonly used to believe that the Sikhs came here in 1874, brought by Captain Speedy. Later, it was also discovered that Sikhs came to Malaya and Singapore around 1853. There were already Sikh prisoners, but when I say prisoners, they were not criminal prisoners. After the fall of Punjab in 1849, resistance against British Raj continued, and Sant Karam Singh, they call Karam Singh in Singapore, but Sant Maharaj Singh, he was leading a forge against the British. When he was arrested, they transferred them to the Straits Settlements. Furthermore, when the British political prisoners from Punjab, Bengal, etc. were sent to the Andamans and 1870s Andaman colony was closed for prisoners, those prisoners also came to Straits Settlements, and slowly these people couldn't go back. They settled here, they married here, and families started.
And once upon a time, the police force of the Strait Settlements in Malacca, in Penang and Singapore were all Sikh or Pathans from the region where the Sikhs came from. The requirement of being a Sikh policeman until 1957 was you have to be baptized. The way Guru Gobind Singh baptized the 5 Sikhs in Anandpur Sahib on Vaisakhi 1699.
Core qualities of a Naam Japna, Vandashakana, Kirt Karni. They also shared their earnings right from the beginning.
Remember, Guruji says, "Aud kate din se rehna re man gurmil kaaj sware." Every day we reminded, 24 hours is common to all. How we use the time is our choice. Our families, our children, we have to share with them. Every Sikh parent 100 years ago, 70 years ago, did one thing, if nothing else. He made sure every child received an education.
We had challenging times in the First World War, Second World War. In Malaya's case, after World War, we had the communist emergency. Then you had confrontation. The 7th generation today is very well accepted. One thing I must emphasize to the Punjabis who settled in this country, they saw other children going to school. Education was very, very important. And Punjabi munshis who were educated in Arabic, Urdu, Hindi, English came here and had respectable positions. And from there, court interpreters brought from Lahore, they were education. So Punjabis, no matter how hard they worked, the first intention settling here was to give their children the best education.
Every time we start our morning prayers, it starts with Ek Oankar. It talks of the oneness of the creation. Anek hai, fir ek hai. So Ek is the number that starts our holy book, our scriptures, our Guru Granth Sahib. And following it is the Oankar, Uda, the first letter of the Punjabi Gurmukhi alphabet, with an open end. That means we are one, we are infinite, and we are one again. Ek Oankar, the oneness of creation. In Kabir's Bani, which forms part of the Sikh scriptures, it says, Khalak, Khalak, Khalak mein Khalak. The Creator created, and in the creation, the Creator lives. So, environment, how we care for the environment in our slok, in the morning prayers. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita, Mata Tarta Mahat. The air is the teacher. You cannot hear without air, the sound. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita, Father. Darwinian theory, life began in water. And in Asariwar, Pehla Pani jo hai, Jit Harya Sabko. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita, Mata Tarta Mahat. Long before we were calling Mother Earth, our prayers already talk of Mother Earth. The Creator, the creation. That is why a Sikh is very concerned about the environment. And the 7th Guru, Guru Har Rai, some consider the ecological guru because he started veterinary hospitals, he started irrigation canals, he did to preserve the nature as God had made it.
The bravery is there. Look at our own history, history of Pahang during the rebellion. Ram Singh, when the fortress was attacked at Sungai Lembing, he had about more than 45 parang marks on his body. Yet Ram Singh, the sergeant, came on the boat to inform the Sultan's forces that forces have taken, rebel forces have taken over the fort. He had all these marks on him and he travelled on the boat. He was sent to hospital and the Governor General of the State Settlements came from Singapore to see this man in the hospital and promoted him on the spot. Later he was given about 40 acres of rubber estate as a reward in Sramban, Ram Singh. So this type of bravery. Gurcharan Singh, the singer, against Japanese forces, he organized resistance. Read his book, Life of Gurcharan Singh, singer, Lion of Malaya. So you see, this bravery feeling is the thing that the British wanted. Everyone had to take Amrit. And then turbans were given, part of the uniform. Even in independent Malaya, Sikh recruits were given turbans. This is a distinguished feature of Sikhs. In 1,000 people, one with a turban, you know, is a Guru Gobind Singh's Khalsa.
The British recognized that the star is an integral part of a Sikh's primary article of faith, which identifies him for who he stands for the discipline that he's going to bring with it, Now we loosely refer to it as the turban, but the dastar is tied with love. Every layer you tie, you are thinking of being honest, you're thinking of sharing, you're thinking of making sure you serve. And that turban saved many lives in the First World War. They found that the Sikh turban, you might have seen pictures, prevented more head injuries than the helmets because they used to absorb shrapnel from a minor explosion.
Kampa, people have written books. They have an association in Kampa, Perak Historical Association. Even in Kota Baru there was resistance. Everywhere there was resistance. In Alosta there was resistance. But Kampa was a point where they stood there. And believe me, it's stated in the original reports of the thing there, the contribution of the Sikhs was accepted as the trademark. Their loyalty was tested there. And they fought. Barehanded also they fought. Ammunition was not there. There was no supporting, but they stood their ground. Remember Saragadi in Afghanistan? Every Sikh who was there, 21 of them, gave his life against the thousands of Afghani forces there. And every one of them was given a Victoria Cross, the highest cross in the parliament in England.
So the British saw that their allegiance, their commitment to their Guru will make sure that they will get the most loyal servants of the British Empire. That is where they built it into the system, the requirement that, and due to that, everywhere a Sikh cantonment was or a Sikh police barracks were, a Gurdwara was made to house the one and only Shabad Guru Granth Sahib Ji, who was carried on the heads of the regimental priests wherever they went to battle. You've seen photographs of First World War, how the Sikhs went to battle.
Tugu Nagara was a memorial to the warriors who fought for the country. And in the first Tugu Nagara, they call it the central part, when it was built, the names of people of the Malay State guides who died in abroad during the World War, they even fought at Israel and other areas there. Their names were all listed there, and they were the majority names there. The British names also followed. But when Tugu Nagara Central Park is still there, and then we, after independence, because of the communist emergency, we built a very much better monument to our soldiers. So figures, etc., representing the forces are there.
Manas ki jaat sabay ek hi pehchan bo. Hum nahi change, bura nahi koi. All these lines remind us on the importance of treating everybody the same. Our Gurbani, Guruji says, E Bani Sarya Vaste Sanji. There is no priestly class in the Sikh faith. Nobody can say, I am higher than you, because if you do say that, then you have learned nothing. So we look at the biggest contribution for me, among others, is that we are the only faith where a woman can lead the congregation in prayer. That is the practical part of non-discrimination where gender is concerned.
When you have nationalism in you, when you have smangat, then you will not look at the other power, you look at your own internal strength. So Kampa witnessed one of those great. Even the fall of Singapore, a lot of Sikhs gave their lives there.
You will be recognized by your deeds, not by your birth. So that is our legacy we have to maintain, we have to live up to. Not easy, but not difficult also.
The people were well disciplined in the military affairs, but they equally enjoyed life to the full. Nanak naam chardi kala, tere pane sarvat kala. We ask for goodwill of all.
So, as a Sikh, it is my duty to share the knowledge I have, to share the time, to reach out to my younger friends, be they Sikhs or non-Sikhs, to help them where help is required, to be there for them. And I am blessed to be a lawyer. When I go to court, I'm just sharing this with you, I will never turn away somebody who comes for help. I will do whatever I can within the law and help him. So in that way, I've been taught by my Guru. I'm blessed to have a black coat and I can go to court and help a person I must. But that's my choice. So we live with our choices. We are given opportunities. Take them, be good, make good, be happy, make happy. Very important. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.